So here, let me pause.
Mhm.
I have, I think that the field has really changed. Not just the field, academia has changed for the worse badly in the last 20 years.
Why?
And I really feel sorry for people coming into the field now. When I graduated, okay, I'm going to now sound like the old timers, like when I was a kid. Okay, but when I was a kid, I had two papers submitted out of my PhD, and that was typical. Assistant professor packages, and they look like what tenure packages used to look like. Of, I've participated in these proposals, and I have this many papers, and what one very kind of leading figure in control said is that if you're writing more, you're reading less. And I think that that's what's happened now, is this expectation to publish and produce and produce and produce has led to reading less, and it's not an enjoyable place to be, where there's just so much happening. Yes, there's a lot of excitement happening, but not proportional to the amount of kind of publications that are coming out, and how we're driven by metrics, and yeah, it's very discouraging, and I don't know how to kind of turn back
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
So
culture
yeah.
to major, where it was more of a kind of a better paced scholarship, and the Nobel laureate saying, just don't pay attention to that and follow your passion. And you can say that now, but you're not in my position, and my, not my position, but say as someone I don't just starting out in the field. The pressures are tremendous,
Yeah.
and yes, it's possible to succeed without kind of conforming to that culture, but it's becoming increasingly difficult. And so with my own group, I would say that my group appreciates it, that we don't operate in that way. On the one hand, on the other hand, they tell me, listen, when we graduate, we're going to be competing with people who have N papers, and no one's going to stop to say, yes, they have fewer, but they're deeper, because they don't even get to the point of getting that conversation. Their CVs are just dismissed, and so I need to be mindful that graduates from my group are going to be entering that and competing in that culture, which is,
Yeah.
like I said, it's
I think that's
unfortunate.
something very admirable, but I know it will be hard. I can assume from the current culture. Let me ask you, what does it take that we can, yeah, back to 20 years, as you say, the same culture, you have different culture, appreciate more understanding, and know you don't be judged how many papers do you have. Yeah, I know I have respect, but I'm against the number of papers. I think it's the quality,
Mhm.
and because it's insane number of papers we see.
Well, it's an insane number of papers. So people have one per week, or this article that I mentioned, just really describe that very well. I can send you a link to that discussion. But now, what will it take? It'll take people who are in influential positions to stop being hypocrites, to be very blunt. And so, if I'm saying I don't care about numbers, and if say even I'm in this position as a department head, if a candidate comes to the department in the area of controls, I'm pretty convinced that I'll assess that file or that CV based on the actual kind of scholarly contribution. But suppose they're in an area that's tangential to mine, well, then I just go to Google Scholar and look at an H index, and look at numbers, because I'm not able to make that more qualitative assessment. So I think step one is for, as I said, people who are in a position of decisions and influence to practice what they preach. Because I think if you ask anyone, they'll say, no, it's not about numbers. But then we'll tout numbers and reward numbers. And
Mhm.
so I
I
think
think
that
also, Jeff, I think that's something also we speak about the H index. I think it's unfair to compare people with different H index because it's number of application, number of citation,
mhm.
and you can gain that number H index. So it's
it's
really not
it's
indicate.
there's so many flaws with it, and they've been pointed out, of whether you can game it or whether it's a measure of popularity of an area.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, again, with people in influence, this is brought in for a human to make a qualitative assessment. Otherwise, we can all be replaced by spreadsheets.